Hello, lovelies. I'm making this video Wednesday, August the 27th, 2025. And today I'm really focusing on an introduction to my new place of sharing, which is on Substack. I haven't yet initiated the writing, and today I'm just really focusing on setting that intention. It's a really magical day in the Mayan calendar. And so my intention is, first of all, I'm going to call that place of sacred writing Illumination. And this is a project that has been running for a long time for me. What I want to share in that space is my journey around how I found these amazing tools for transformation and what that has meant for me, and also how I am looking to connect to my tribe at this time because I have the time and space to do that. I'm in a settled place now, who knows for how long, as the journey at this time is hugely powerful around getting us to be where we need to be. And depending on what that human being is doing in their personal process at that time as well. So it may sound like I'm speaking in riddles, and it can be like that because each of us is where we are on the path. And that's what I'm going to be sharing about. So I've been involved in transformation, I would say, my whole life on some level. I did things that people in my circle of influence generally didn't do. So I decided that I was going to do something different. And so I grew up in the north of England, and I was born in 1965. And I grew up in a place called Rochdale. I was actually born into a village called Milnrow, and a lot of the people that I grew up with still live in that village, and it is a really lovely place. And it's changed a lot, like a lot of places. But I always felt like I didn't fit in with people generally, that I was different to people. And, people thought I was a bit weird, and probably still do. And so this um, thing that I'm creating is is really for people like me, I guess, in some way, who are different to what we call the norm. So on my journey, I will say that, from a very early age, I was doing things that were unusual, being intuitive and getting involved in the occult, I guess you would call it. But again, once you start understanding astrology, our whole generation born then are interested in that. And we're interested in how magic works, how things that aren't really talked about, that aren't mainstream, that are becoming more mainstream now, of course. How does all of that work? What's really going on? underneath. And so again, it's just exploring different frameworks at that time and realizing, that when I left school, I dropped out of higher education and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. But I knew that I loved traveling. So I started an apprenticeship in travel back then. And then very soon I realized that I couldn't bear the day-to-day life of my locality, and I was just getting lost in trying to escape from it every weekend. And so eventually I went to live in Crete because some of my friends had already been there. So I just decided to go there. And this was around the time when I was 20 and I had my 21st birthday there, which is a big time astrologically. And of course, I wasn't aware of that. But I was aware of synchronicities. I was aware that if I went to the library and borrowed 6 books, they would all have a similar theme in them. But I didn't really know what that meant. Didn't really know anything about astrology or past lives or healing or any of that stuff back then. But I knew that as soon as I went to Greece, I felt like I was at home. And there was a lot about that lifestyle that really appealed to me. And I had my first really huge awakening on a beach in Crete on my own, and there was nobody else there at that time. And I just felt like I dropped in to the real me at that time. And it just really started to expand from there. So, cut to today, and now I have some tools that can explain how nothing was ever random. They can give me a deeper insight as to why I was there at that time. And it mind blowing what it's shown me. I often resisted these tools of the Mayan calendar, for example, and the Mayan system. And it was like, what on earth? When that showed up for me in 2010 through a client of mine that came in, I was so in denial of it and saying, no, it's way too complicated. I don't understand it. And I know what I'm doing. I know I'm going to Glastonbury in the UK. I know that I'm going to be doing the emotional freedom technique, which I'd learned in 2007. Some of those tools that I had, they just showed up for me through other people. And as soon as I started using them, I was like, wow, okay, this is huge for me. And I'm guessing that you've had similar experiences. I trained in lots of different things in 2007. And I realize with the astrology at the moment of what's happening that I'm going to talk more about in depth in this new space. This window of time now is repeating something that happened to us before. And it is such an amazing window of opportunity. I'm so excited about it, of what it's going to mean. Because a lot of the time I've resisted things and eventually I've accepted and allowed it, like the Mayan calendar. So I have been using the Mayan calendar since 2011. And I want to share resources and start simply about what this tool is, because I know that's part of the reason why I'm here at this time. And the magic of it all, and how to really focus on our individual story rather than getting sucked into everybody else's story. And this is going to be really powerful for you as well if you're involved in the healing modalities and if you've got a pattern around that in helping other people, being of service to other people. This is going to really expand something in you at this time. So, just to say, first and foremost, it doesn't matter whether you have any knowledge of astrology. Paradoxically, if you do have a knowledge of astrology, this is going to add to that. Any of your tools that you already have, this is going to add to those. It isn't a replacement. It could be a huge awakening for you around the Zolkin. And I'm sure that's going to happen on some level. I'm going to try and put everything into user-friendly language. And I hope to create a community of people so that we can really build on this together. And I know that we've been with each other in past lives, that we've been with each other at the time these tools were created, and we're all waking each other up. We're all working together. We're all remembering who we are in our own way. And we all have these amazing gifts to bring to share in community as well. So, a date that I'm working towards is I've just written it down, the 10th. Let me just check again. Just to double check that is accurate, because I've been looking at a lot of different dates today. So the Zolkin has 260-day cycles, and it's very important to work intentionally with this as well. Yes, Wednesday, the 10th of December, 2025. So put that date in your calendar, because that's the next bigger picture cycle to really be focusing on. And that's going to be in Sagittarius energy. And so Sagittarius energy, again, I'm going to be writing about that as well. What is it? Well, it's the gateway point. It's number 9 in the zodiac cycle. It's where new stars are made. It's the galactic center. None of this is, small stuff. It's about healing. It's about our wound. And at the moment, we are in a 260-day cycle of Aries. So, and all the astrology is massive around this Aries energy. New beginnings, new stories. Who am I? And what story do I want to create for myself right now? And we've been working this pattern for a significant amount of time now. So we've gone using the Zolkin framework, we have gone through 52 days of awakening. And this started on the 25th March. So think back to what you were doing then. In Substack, in Illumination, I'm going to be writing very specifically about key dates so I can cross-pollinate this magical calendar for you. And you can then go deeper by looking at what is happening in your life at that time. So it's very, very specific. So 25th of March, we initiated the awakening, as to what our story was at that time, and where Aries is in your chart, for example, can go to a whole deeper level as well. And so you can work at whatever level you feel comfortable with. We went through 52 days of awakening. Then we went through 52 days of refining that first process, coming into truth, being a human being who wants to heal, who doesn't want to stay on the karmic wheel of hurt and suffering, who wants to learn and understand that in order to do that, this is not just something that you do up here, it's something you do here. It's about the heart, it's about healing. And I'm also going to explain how that actually works, how we have to time travel into the past in order to become present, and we have to heal the past. And all of these frameworks help us to laser in and do that process. Virgo, the time that we're in now, is about lasering in to the detail. The next process that we have just completed today is the blue. And the blue is the transformation. It's about the survival brain, the lizard brain, and our ancestors' stories that we're still living. And, you know, if you want evidence of that, just look outside of yourself, what's going on planet Earth, and how amazingly awful it is in a lot of places on the planet now, despite the fact that we have more wealth than we've ever had, despite the fact that we have all this technology. And on one level, we really don't need to be in this place, but we are in this place because these storylines are still running energetically as we live in an energy universe. So tomorrow we are going to go into a 52-day process of red earth, which is the yellow castle. And what does that mean? It means that we are going to have illumination because red earth's planet is Uranus. Uranus has gone into Gemini, and so this is another hugely powerful time of newness, 0 degrees, of what's coming to light about our beliefs, about our communication, about our co-creation, and really understanding how that works for us as human beings. It's so important to understand how the body works, how the mind works, and we can distill that down to, again, quite simple principles at this time. And you don't have to understand everything in order to be working with it. This is fundamental now to make that shift. You know, this is not about spending years talking about your problems and your issues. This is about being really dynamic now and really being independent as well, getting free of codependency and using these amazing tools to become free, emotionally free. That is the key to everything. That is the root. And so I hope you'll join me for the next 52 days because you're going to see where you are on planet Earth, the reality, what's occurring for you on a day-to-day basis. You're going to see what your triggers are. You're going to see where you're still running an old story. And during this process, I'm going to be sharing these frameworks with you so that if you choose, you can start to use them. And so by the next 52-day process, you're going to be ready to do a whole different experience. And the cosmos is aligning with us right now in order for us to do that. So it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what you know about this. Just trust this and feel what feels right for you. And trust that the universe has co-created with you at this time for you to create what you came here to create. And just trust that process. Get excited, get involved, and no matter what is going on around you, just really focus now on coming into this purification process, remembering the sacred in you, the goddess energy coming in back into balance, nurturing, creating new belief systems, new habits, new ways of being for human being. And the key thing is we have to live this process. It's not something that's intellectual. It's not just about affirmations. It's not just about meditation. It's about going to that next level of embodiment, exploring our beliefs, realizing where they are limiting us, and letting go of any limitations so that we can expand our conscious awareness. Remember, the conscious awareness of all that is here in the universe. And it's only our ancestral programs that are limiting our experience, because that's how it works. So once we become really skilled at this process, there is an infinite amount of possibility, no matter what program is going on in the human experience right now. There is a higher program, and we can access it when we access what's getting in the way. So we have all the answers. You know what's getting in the way for you. And it's how to put that into a very practical plan now for yourself. So please get in touch with me if you would like to co-create in some way. I am open to whatever ideas and inspiration comes from whoever is in my circle right now. And I hope that we're going to have a deeper connection. That's my intention. And I'm always open to people's feedback as to how I can create in a way that they can understand at whatever level you are at. That's my service. And that's why I'm here at this time, is to share how to become free of the old story so that we can be the midwives of the new earth, literally through us, because that's how it works. So lots of love, and I look forward to sharing space with you and sharing ideas and community. And I'm really excited about it. So lots of love.